Hello students, good morning. In yesterday's class or in the previous lecture, we have completed female reproductive system, its different components. We have seen process of folliculogenesis as well as process of oogenesis. After that, we have studied in detail, that is what is menstrual cycle, what is reproductive cycle, and how secondary oocyte or ovum is produced in human female. Okay. Now before we move on toward the point of fertilization, we are going to see the structure of ovum, okay, and types of membranes and eggs based on some aspects. Okay. So let's start the next point, that is structure of human egg. Okay. So I write down the heading, structure of human egg cell. Okay, so structure of human egg or ovum. Fine. The human egg is a rounded structure. Okay, and it is non-cladoid. Okay, so human egg is rounded. Okay, about 0.1 millimeter in diameter. Okay, human egg, it is rounded in shape and is about 0.1 millimeter in diameter. It is non-cladoic. Okay, means what? What do you mean by non-cladoic egg? In the kingdom Animalia, you have seen that eggs could be cladoic or non-cladoic. Okay, cladoic means those eggs which are covered by a shell. Okay, such eggs are known as cladoic eggs. Non-cladoic eggs means they are not covered by a shell membrane. Such eggs are known as non-cladoic eggs. Okay, so we can mention here without a shell. Without a shell. Okay. Now, while studying menstrual cycle or oogenesis, I told you that egg, it is surrounded by different membranes. Okay. Secondary oocyte completes the second meiotic division and the nucleus of secondary oocyte is converted into the nucleus of egg or ovum only when sperm fertilizes or sperm enters in secondary oocyte. It is a simultaneous process. So, the second meiotic division, when secondary oocyte is released, okay, that is arrested at metaphase 2. Okay, this is because of accumulation of mitotic factors. Okay, all your mitotic promoting factors, okay, they get accumulated and secondary oocyte get arrested at metaphase 2. When sperm is penetrating the egg cell, when it enters in egg cell at that time, this metaphase promoting factor, it is broken down, okay, and anaphase promoting complex, okay, or anaphase promoting substances get accumulated that completes the second meiotic division, okay, and the secondary oocyte get converted into egg or ovum. Fine. Now we will draw the structure of ovum and we will see what are the parts. Okay, fine. So as we discussed, it is oval shaped. Okay, sorry, it is rounded. Okay, about 0.1 millimeter in diameter. The cytoplasm of ovum, it is divisible into two zones. Again, these two zones, they are not distinct. There is no separate margin to separate out these two layers. Okay, the outer region, it is dense. Okay, and it shows presence of cortical granules. Okay, the outer part of cytoplasm is dense. Okay, and it shows presence of cortical granules. Now these cortical granules are nothing but these are aggregations of microtubules. Okay, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes. Okay, they help in the acrosomal reaction at the time of fertilization. When we will see what are steps in fertilization, that time we will understand what is the function of these granules. Fine. So as before we have learned that the membrane of secondary oocyte, it is known as oolemma. The membrane will remain as it is, only the nucleus or the nucleus of secondary oocyte will convert into nucleus of egg or ovum. Right? So this membrane, okay, is known as oolemma. Okay, we can generally call it as plasma membrane also. So that also I will write plasma membrane, or it is also known as vitelline membrane. Vitelline membrane. Okay. So membrane of ovum is known as oolemma or plasma lemma or vitelline membrane. The cytoplasm is divisible into two zones. The outer zone, it is known as exoplasm. Okay, outer one, it is known as exoplasm. Okay, whereas the inner one, it is known as ooplasm. Okay, the inner one, it is known as ooplasm. Fine. Now here you will find a nucleus. Okay, so this is the nucleus of a or ova. It is also known as germinal vesicle. Nucleus is also called as germinal vesicle. Fine, understood up to this. Okay. Now which points we discussed? We discussed the membrane. Okay, so the membrane of egg, it is known as oolemma or ooplasm, also known as vitelline membrane. Okay, cytoplasm is divisible into two zones. The outer one, dense zone with cortical granules. Okay, it is known as exoplasm. The inner one, it is known as ooplasm. Fine. Now we have learned that there are so many egg membranes. Okay. One we have seen, that is oolemma. Outside to this, there are two more membranes. One that is a non-living, that is zona pellucida. Okay, who secrete this layer? Yes, just try to recall. Zona pellucida. Fine. And outside to the zona pellucida, there is another layer that is known as corona radiata. Okay, so we will draw those layers. Okay. These are your cortical granules, so those we will also label cortical granules. Cortical granules. Okay, they are aggregates of lipids, microtubules, aggregates of lipids, microtubules, mitochondria, RNA, ribosomes. Okay, so exoplasm, also known as egg cortex. Okay, so exoplasm, it is the outer dense part which is rich in cortical granules. Okay, whereas the inner part, which consists of nucleus, that is known as ooplasm. Fine. Now, outside to the egg cell, there is a non-cellular layer. Okay, it is known as zona pellucida. Okay, just outside the egg membrane, there is a small cavity or space that is known as perivitelline space. Means it is a space between egg membrane and zona pellucida. Right? So this is the zona pellucida layer. It is a non-living. It is made up of glycoprotein. This zona pellucida layer has receptors. Okay, it has surface receptor. From that important is GP3. Okay, glycoprotein 3. It helps in the recognition reaction at the time of fertilization. Fine. When we will study fertilization, at that time we will see what is the significance or importance of zona pellucida. What it does? Zona pellucida prevents the polyspermy. Means what? what? One sperm enters inside the egg cell, okay, it prevents entry of another sperm. So polyspermy meaning it is a fertilization of egg cell by more than one sperm. Okay. So zona pellucida, which is a glycoprotein layer, it has surface receptors on it, okay, which help in the recognition or identification of sperm, okay, at the time of fertilization. It prevents the polyspermy, fertilization of egg cell by more than one sperm. Okay, it undergoes structural changes once one sperm enters in the egg cell. As I told you, in case of humans, mostly in case of mammals including humans, whole sperm enters in the egg cell. Means actually it is secondary oocyte. Whole sperm enters in secondary oocyte along with its stem. Fine. So one sperm enters in the secondary oocyte, which is now converted into egg or ovum. Zona pellucida layer prevent the entry of another sperm. Thus it prevent the polyspermy. Okay. So zona pellucida, it is a non-living layer. Zona pellucida. It is known as zona pellucida. Fine. It is a non-living layer. Okay. It is glycoprotein in nature. Okay. And who secrete this layer? Secreted by follicular cells. Secreted by follicular cells. Okay. Secreted by follicular cells. Fine. Now, I told you there is a gap or space between oolemma and the zona pellucida. It is known as perivitelline space. Okay. Perivitelline space. You may find here your second polar body attached to it, because whenever secondary oocytes completes the second meiotic division, one ovum and one polar body is formed. So that polar body remain attached to secondary oocyte. Okay. So second polar body it is produced and it remain attached or it is present in this perivitelline space. Fine. So egg membrane, outside is a perivitelline space, outside there is a zona pellucida. Fine. Now outside the zona pellucida there is a layer of radiating cells. Okay, while studying the structure of Graafian follicle, we have seen that surrounding to secondary oocyte, granulosa cells form a very thin layer, and that forms corona radiata of secondary oocyte. So these are slightly radiating, okay, ray shaped, okay, or slightly radiating granulosa cells, okay, which surround the ovum or egg cells. Okay, so slightly radiating cells. Okay, I am not showing throughout the surface. Okay. Okay, so slightly larger cells. Okay, larger radiating cells. Okay, now these, which are the cells? These are your granulosa cells. Fine. These are granulosa cells, radiating cells. Okay, and this layer is known as, yes, corona radiata. Okay, this layer is known as corona radiata. Fine. This is made up of which cells? Granulosa cells. Corona radiata made up of granulosa cells. Fine. Understood. Outside to the zona pellucida there is a layer of radiating cells. These cells are nothing but the granulosa cells. Okay. These cells, they are stuck to each other by means of a cementing material that is known as hyaluronic acid. Where you have heard this word in the case of structure of sperm, acrosome. Okay, the tip or the pointed part of acrosome, it is filled with hydrolytic enzymes. Okay, there are so many hydrolytic enzymes, but from that you have to remember at least 3. Okay, there is a corona penetrating enzyme. Okay, there is a zona lysine. Yes, there is a hyaluronidase. Okay, along with this there is a acid phosphatase, alkaline phosphatase. Okay, but you have to remember 3 enzymes because based on these questions can be asked in the NEET exam. First one, hyaluronidase. So this hyaluronidase, what it does? It dissolves the cementing material, okay, between corona radiata cells. See, when sperm is trying to enter and when sperm will try to fertilize the egg cell, that sperm has to pass through these many barriers. Okay, these are hurdles in his path. Okay, so that sperm has to digest these wall layers. Then only it can reach up to the egg nucleus. So the outermost layer is which one? This is your corona radiata. As I told you, these cells, they are stuck to each other by means of hyaluronic acid. So to digest this hyaluronic acid, acrosome releases hyaluronidase. Okay, so that hyaluronidase, it digests hyaluronic acid. A kind of path it is formed. Now sperm again, it is just like then when it creates the path, then it starts to pour it. Okay, so it is just a drilling action. Okay, I was thinking the word. So it is your drilling action. The way in which we drill in the wall or at a solid surface, in the same way, the sperm is going to drill these different layers to reach up to the egg cell. So for that he need a passage. He need a site from where it can penetrate. It needs a site for its penetration. So with the help of hyaluronidase, fine, it digests the hyaluronic acid. Okay, and then the cells get separate out. Right. Now once that sperm gets the space, then it reaches up to the, or with the help of corona penetrating enzyme, it digests the layer, right, and then it reaches up to the zona pellucida. Now to digest the zona pellucida, there is zona lysine. Okay, so all together these hydrolytic enzymes of acrosome, we call it as sperm lysine. See one point when we will see the fertilization point, at that time I will tell you, not a single sperm is able to digest all these layers. Okay, so many sperms, as I told you, they surround the egg cell and each of them they are trying to fertilize the egg. So acrosome of each of those sperms will release enzymes. These released enzymes will spread all over the surface of egg. Okay, and then it will help to digest the layer. It is not a piece of a single sperm. Okay, single sperm is unable to break. So at the time, a large number of enzymes, okay, or a large quantity of enzymes it is required. So single sperm it is not able to fertilize. So when remaining sperms also they are trying to fertilize, so all or from everyone these enzymes are released and these enzymes they are spread over throughout the surface of egg cell. Fine. So this layer it is known as corona radiata. Okay, it is the outermost layer. Fine. Now till now what we have seen, the egg, okay, the membrane of egg it is known as oolemma, plasma membrane, okay, or vitelline membrane. The cytoplasm is divided into 2 distinct zones. The outer zone which consists of granules or the cortical granules, it is known as exoplasm, also known as egg cortex. Okay, it has cortical granules. Cortical granules are nothing but aggregation of endoplasmic reticulum, microtubules, mitochondria, okay, RNA, proteins, ribosomes. Okay, they help in the acrosomal reaction. Now acrosomal reaction is a very important process at that or in fertilization. Now outside, then the inner part it is known as ooplasm. It is also known as germinal vesicle. It consists of nucleus. Along with that, some cell organelles. Outside to the egg membrane, there is a space, very little space, that is known as perivitelline space. You may find the second polar body attached over here. Then outside to this, there is a non-living layer that is known as zona pellucida. This zona pellucida is a glycoprotein in nature, secreted by follicular cell. It prevents polyspermy during fertilization, as well as it has surface receptors. Okay, surface receptor that help in the recognition reaction at the time of fertilization. Okay, outside to the zona pellucida, there is a layer of radiating cells that is known as corona radiata. This layer, it is formed by granulosa cells. Okay, cells of corona radiata, they are stuck together with the help of hyaluronic acid. Now, to digest these layers, sperm head has an acrosome which is filled with hydrolytic enzymes. Okay, these enzymes, they digest the egg membrane to reach up to egg nucleus. Fine. Now, this is the structure of egg cell or human egg. After this, we will see types of eggs based on its size as well as the yolk content. Fine. So, I hope you have understood this part. Just draw this diagram. After this, we will see types of egg cells. Okay, one point I forgot to mention that there is a specific polarity in the egg cell. The part or the pole of egg cell where nucleus it is located, this pole, and just rub this part, this port or this part of egg cell, it is known as animal pole. Okay, now the pole or the region where nucleus is located, it is known as animal pole. Okay, whereas its opposite pole, it is known as vegetal pole. Very important point. Its significance we will see during fertilization process. Now, animal pole, it is a site from where sperm enters. Okay, sperm enters in egg and then it moves toward the vegetal pole. The way in which it enters in the ovum, it decides the path of first cleavage. It is very interesting, students. So when we will see the fertilization, at that time we will see how a single tiny cell of zygote, it forms the entire embryo. So what is the significance of animal pole? Animal pole, it is a site from where sperm penetrates in the egg cell. As soon as it penetrates, it moves towards the vegetal pole, and the plane, okay, on which it moves, it decides the plane of first cleavage division, that is the first mitotic division. When zygote forms, it immediately divides into two cells. So these poles, okay, this is the animal pole through which sperms enter in the egg cell. And one more point, that is your hyaluronic acid. This hyaluronic acid, it is a mucopolysaccharide. Okay, that also you remember. Hyaluronic acid, it is a cementing material, okay, between these corona radiata cells, okay, and by nature it is a mucopolysaccharide. Fine. Now after this we will see types of egg cell.